This is the limestone lowdown. Hear the sound when you lie to the issues all around. From every corner, let's make it clear. The change we need is starting here.
Hi everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the Limestone Lowdown. Today we're going to cover the October 13th, 2025 City Council meeting.
Yeah, it was a short agenda. I think there was only aside from the consent calendar, there was only 4 items on the regular agenda. So it was a quick meeting. Let's see. Dana Henry was not here today. Well, she came in on 2 wheels, the last item that came in.
Yes.
Yeah, but she wasn't
didn't
there.
vote on anything.
Yeah,
and
everything
I guess
had already been voted. Really, we're about to adjourn. She might have
Correct.
been there for one public comment meeting.
Maybe for the meeting after the meeting, the AAR, After Action Review.
Yeah, right. So there wasn't. Normally they'll go through and give comments. Nobody even gave any comments this time.
Yeah, nobody had any. Other than the storytelling festival coming up.
Yeah, the Fiddlers Convention.
Well, that already happened.
But they just talked about how successful
Yeah,
it was.
I'm just saying, as far as on the horizon, that's the next big event, as you would say, would be the storytelling festival.
Yeah, and
get your tall tales in.
And then the Kangaroo Christmas that was just recorded. I do wonder if that's going to be like a Hallmark movie or something. I always call it my little Hallmark town. Yeah. I do wonder if, because it's on the square, and then they did a filming over at the farmer's market.
I mean, we've said that enough. They might have to pay us a few cents.
I know.
Because I'm
pretty excited about seeing it, other than seeing who's in it. Funny, Weston got asked to be a person in the background. What do they call
extra.
An extra. Yeah, but they filmed it on the Friday, the last day before fall break, and I had hoped that he was going to get to go, but I went ahead and sent him to school. So hopefully he won't take exams. But I am excited to see that. I do want to say again about, and I know I say this a lot, and you'll hear me say a lot, Mr. Lucas is just not. He needs to retire, and not him as a person, but as a councilman, him being 86, you can barely understand him. I don't even know if he
knows about email.
Well, I know he doesn't know about email.
And it was so funny, they came out and said that, he's got a flip phone, right?
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
It's oh, wow, okay.
I mean, I literally wrote, this is a joke, next to his name on taking my notes. It's just getting bad, and he'll have to be. Well, I guess if there's only 4 more years, it won't rotate to him. So he's just trying to get through these.
I guess.
But this is a complete joke.
I mean, it's a little hard to make it through the meetings, and people are looking at each other he's doing stuff out of order, and all kind of stuff like that. It's whew.
This is his last. He's got one more meeting for being council president. So the city.
They haven't announced who's going to be it next, have they?
Ronnie Marks will announce it. So it'll either be, I don't think that they'll bring in one of the newcomers.
Well, no. So it's down to 2.
It'll be either James Lucas will repeat, or Dana Henry, or Chris Seibert.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to make it Chris Seibert. It's going to be interesting. I'm almost willing to bet money it's going to be Dana Henry.
Well, I've already said that.
Yeah.
He'll be second time around, and that's when the second worst kept secret in Athens will come out.
Right. It's just, but yeah, I just wanted to highlight on that, because this has been
it's been a struggle this year with him being the council president, and that not speaking into the microphone, getting stuff out of order, people looking at each other are we done? What are we doing next? Doing stuff out of order. So, yeah. I mean, not's enough man, but it's my goodness, you served 20 years on the school board, and now you've done this, and it's why did you seek re-election?
You promised the people.
Yeah, you promised you weren't going to, and now you did, and now you're even older, and it's just go retire. Enjoy your retirement.
This is I know I've said it before, that these are not desirable positions, and Jared gets on to me when I say that, but these are desirable. I mean, you literally control everything.
A fifth?
I think a fifth of the decisions that are made. You control all the personnel that's on all of the boards, the Planning Commission, the Alcohol Review Board, the Zoning Commission, the Historic Preservations. There's like 10 plus boards that the school board, all the power is in the city council's hands. But so what I mean not desirable is people don't realize how much power they hold. It's just like, oh, they're the city council.
Then some people said they don't get paid enough to deal with all this. And it's like, it's not about the pay.
It's not about the pay. Yeah. And so I think that, with him being on the school board for as long as he was, like, that's very admirable, I think. But it's like you said, you weren't going to run again, and you're 86. I mean, anyways, as I digress, it was just funny. One of my notes that I wrote on here says this is a joke. So going into the consent calendar.
Yes, let's do that.
Resolution to approve travel expenses of $23.10 for the mayor's office for Holly Holman mandatory grant workshop in Decatur. Resolution to approve travel expenses of $101.64 for the Utilities Finance Department for Abigail Owen, mileage for May 6th to September 30th. Resolution to approve travel expenses for 7 electric department personnel for conference and vehicle pickup for a total of $439.16. A resolution to purchase one 2025 Chevy Tahoe PPV through the state of Alabama bid list from McSweeney Chevrolet GMC for a cost not to exceed $62,939.92 from the police department's existing capital expenditure account. A resolution to purchase 18 bulletproof vests for a cost of $25,186.06 from GT Distributors from the police department's existing capital expenditure account. A resolution to purchase 2 2026 Ford Maverick crew cab pickup trucks through the state of Alabama Division of Purchasing vehicle contract from Stevers Ford Lincoln for a cost of $73,480. Resolution to declare a 2011 Ford Expedition, 2014 Dodge Ram 2500, a 2015 Dodge Ram 2500, and a 2017 Dodge Ram 2500 as surplus vehicles of the electric department to be sold at public auction on govdeals.com. Funny, Jared was like, hey, I wonder if I can get one of those.
I know, a 2017 2500, sounds pretty nice.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, though, that why do we need, that's a pretty recent vehicle. I mean, it's less than 10 years old. Like, why are we seeking to replace that? But,
sometimes I feel like it's, this is government. I say like in the government, but this is government that when you have dollars, if you don't use them, they go away.
Well, it's the same thing in the Alabama National Guard. It's like I got to go at the end one time and I shot off thousands of rounds because they're like, well, we don't know if we'll get them again if we don't use them. You got to show usage.
Yeah, so it's like if we have this money, then, but I don't mind having a new fleet of vehicles. Just would like to see, like, is it high mileage? Is something going on, like, with the maintenance? But we did have an add-on for that one. It was item F. It was to reimburse for the senior masters games. I think.
Okay, so my understanding is our person that's about to take over District 5,
Miss Amy Golden, yes.
The credit card, which we didn't know she had one till Ronnie March said that, was still in her name.
We've known that.
That she had one for the activity center.
Oh, I knew that. Maybe you didn't.
Well, I did not know that. Okay. And then it had not been enough time to switch it over. So this lady, I forget what they said,
Black.
Paid for this stuff herself because she didn't want to take the city's credit card, which is in Ronnie Mark's possession. So she paid for this herself, and this was just reimbursement. I guess the old folks it's like some Olympic.
Yeah.
Not like old folks Olympics. I don't know how to say that. It was got the Masters activities or something like that.
All right. Masters game.
Well, all right, guys.
Yeah.
So.
I think there was like $6,700 that they raised or something like that, but it was for $5,900 for that to be reimbursed. Mayor Mark said it was going to be a couple weeks, and he didn't want that hanging out on her personal credit card, and she wouldn't take she wouldn't take money from him, so he found. So yeah, I mean, thanks for doing that. I'm sure they had a great time. So then we go into our regular meeting. Let's see, resolution. Again, there's only four items, so quick meeting. A resolution authorizing the electric services director to accept the proposal from Morrell Engineering for $16,000 for geotechnical exploration at the Belmina substation project to be funded from the City of Athens 2015 warrant fund and or the 2022 warrant fund utilities.
Let me read what that actually is.
Okay.
So geotechnical exploration is the process of investigating the surface conditions of a site to determine if its physical properties like soil strength and composition for construction purposes. This investigation is crucial for ensuring a project's safety and structural integrity by helping engineers design appropriate foundations and avoid costly future repairs. So, but funny, I guess this funny where that location is. Yeah. Would you like to tell us what that location is again?
Well, yeah, because one of our recent podcasts was about the Belmina rock quarry, where Grayson Carter and Son has put that rock quarry. And
the blasting,
and the Grayson Carter and Son doesn't actually own that. It's owned by a corporation out of Indiana.
Correct.
But the family is actually from Huntsville, but yes. It's like headquarters, or what's the word I'm looking for, that's in Indiana.
The corporate location.
But it's like, I think it was like Elephants R Us or something is the corporation. They're the ones that actually own it, and so I don't know, it was just kind of interesting. And then of course, like, you start kind of lining up, putting two and two together, like Morrell Engineering. Taz Morrell used to be over the utilities,
the city engineer,
and then he broke out on his own, and now he's got Morrell Engineering, and they do a lot of work with the city. Again, I haven't done enough investigating, or haven't really seen enough.
I just think it's funny. I don't remember. I mean, we've been over a year. This is the first time I've seen that, because I would have remembered it if we looked it up before. Geotechnical.
Correct, but we've done a lot of work with Morrell Engineering.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying specifically tied back to our last episode about Belmina.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time I've seen that geotechnical exploration.
What do you think
I just find that I think they're covering their bases. Like, there's literally blasts going off and shaking stuff in the whole town, and I think they're like, oh my goodness, we need to make sure the ground is structurally sound to be able to build the substation.
But to build, where's the substation going to
be? In Belmina? There's already a little one there. I think it's adding on to it.
I guess you're missing what I'm saying. Why is the city of Athens doing it when that is in Limestone County? Why is the city funding that? That is not...
Because Athens Utilities covers the whole county.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
You're thinking, it's not the county.
Oh, because he's utilities.
Yes.
Yeah, because they do cover the whole... Well, that's even...
So there is a little substation there already. So what I'm getting at is, so we're worried with all this blasting and all this other stuff to build onto the little substation. Yeah. So now we're paying this.
Then it goes back to when you start talking about like the asphalt plant and the quarry. It still affects the city even after they de-annexed it. Like it's not like, oh, we de-annexed it, like we're in the county, we can do whatever we want. Like, it still affects the whole city and county, So anyways, we just found that very interesting because we've not seen anything about that before. And then the irony that we just recently did a podcast on it too. So I don't know, things that make you go, Next item, a resolution to approve reimbursement for Councilwoman Dana Henry for $45 for the Public Purpose Doctrine CMO online course. An ordinance to, let's go down to the last one and we'll come back to the other one. A resolution to designate 2 additional holidays and a personal day, November 28th, 2025, the day after Thanksgiving, as a holiday, President's Day on February 16th, 2026 as a holiday, and a floating personal day for 2026. So it's 3 extra days for city employees. I found it funny. I'm all for giving the day after Thanksgiving and President's Day. Like, those are also No, I don't want the day after Thanksgiving isn't a federal holiday, but President's Day is a federal holiday.
Correct.
I found it interesting though that this particular city council meeting on October 13th was Columbus Day.
Correct.
Limestone County was closed.
The
Huntsville City, the banks were closed.
Yes. No post office.
No post office, yeah, because you talked about our mail.
I was like, oh, I forgot.
And remember the last city council meeting, I even said, hey, the next one falls on Columbus Day. And that's when the mayor was so rude and was like, we don't acknowledge Columbus Day. So that third holiday was a floating holiday. And he even said for employees to honor whomever and however they wanted to.
Correct.
So I found that just really interesting. Like, we don't want to acknowledge. I mean, there was even the guy that was behind us that was like, I can't rewrite history. Why is Columbus Day not on there? Like,
well, that's what I talked with somebody else about.
He founded America.
Like, a day off is a day off. Like, even if I don't care why, it's like, oh, a day off is a day off. I mean, I'm not celebrating whatever it is just because I'm off. We're off because we're off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not off because it was,
it's the whole thing.
Private world, but
it's the whole thing with like Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, like whatever it is, however it is you want to celebrate it. But the guy that was behind us it was just funny to me how he was like, why is Columbus Day? He even made the comment, why are we even having this meeting today? Like, isn't it Columbus Day?
Well, you know who it was.
Who?
Mr. Woodruff.
Was it Mr.
Yes.
Woodruff? I didn't even look behind me to see.
It's Mr. Woodruff.
Will Woodruff?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he even made the comment, like, I can't rewrite history. So anyways, I just found that funny that, we'll say, hey, we're going to give an extra day for Thanksgiving. We're going to acknowledge President's Day, but then we're going to give you this floating holiday so that you can honor whomever and however you want. It was just interesting. Like, we don't acknowledge Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, however you want to see October 13th was. But we're still going to give you an extra holiday.
Yes.
Because they acknowledge the rest of them. I mean, I think they closed on like Juneteenth, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Like they close on.
Yeah, I'm sure coming up they'll be off on Veterans Day.
Yeah. So it was just a little. I just found that interesting.
Yeah.
So then we go into
go to our last.
Oh yeah, this was an ordinance to authorize the city's use of uniform non-traffic citation and complaint (UNTCC) to process non-traffic offenses, to provide an alternative to the taking of individuals into custody for non-violent offenses or violations which may appropriately be charged by the use of UNTCC.
What?
Yeah, right. We had to look that up before the meeting. And there was two people that got up and spoke. One was Mr. Russell. He is actually part of the Planning Commission as well. I knew I had seen his name before and I recognized it. But he's on the Planning Commission as well, which means he's also handpicked by the city. But he even asked about this too.
What it pertains to exactly. And he was basically asking about like code enforcement and stuff like that. It wasn't anything too in depth. And they basically said, I mean, there's multiple ways of looking at this because we asked people what they thought about it. Like, I thought that it could be a way to artificially lower our crime numbers because it's so trumpeted. Oh, Athens is so low crime. Oh, we don't have a homeless problem. Da 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 da. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I looked at it as that. This is a way to artificially keep our crime rate down. But there's also the flip side of that, which is what you and some other people thought, that it is directed at.
Well, because that was one I wrote on here, streamlining process, and I think that's one of the things that he was talking about was being able, and he asked, and they acknowledged, like, yes, it was, like, are we going to be able to, like, streamline certain processes, like serving people for various things. And during the meeting of the city council meeting, I leaned over to Jared, and because, I mean, we've seen this play out over the last, 14 months now. We've seen them over the last, 14 months, how they do stuff, right? So they plan it. if there needs to be like a hearing or whatever, they'll set the hearing, then they have the hearing, and then the meeting after that, then they'll go and actually do the rezoning. So it just proves that by the time it actually makes it on the council agenda, this is like a rubber stamp. So got to remember, Mark started coming back to city council about a year ago, and then he created a Facebook. He got very vocal. He has over 1,000 friends on Facebook. Very, very vocal, always speaking up at city council. And obviously, like with Jared and I, like we always speak up too. We don't have as many friends as him because we're not from here. And then we've got the podcast. But I even leaned into Jared. I was like, oh my gosh, like what if they try to do something to us? And he was like, I mean, what? They can't. So then Mark got up and confirmed exactly what I was thinking. Like he got up there and asked, like, does this ordinance pertain to the rundown, dilapidated properties? Like, are you going to go after the homeowners and things like that? And Big A even acknowledged, no, we're not going to be doing that. So yes, I just found that very interesting that Mark got up there and asked that, because I literally told Jared, I was like, is this going to be a way for them to serve us? But then, I mean, it look at it, like it goes back to Russ Johnson. Like he ran against the mayor, and then, you know, it was from when they lost to the next May where they took him off the school board, him and his good friend, Mr. Green. And then now Mark has done everything that he's done to bring things to light. And then they've served him with trespassing just like they did us. Uh-huh. And then now, if they're going to try to come after him again.
What are we just going to call this the Mark Wilson Law?
Right? I mean, it just makes sense, right?
It does. It does, if the shoe fits.
So, I guess just sit around.
Well, let's just say they don't put anything on there and they don't have a
plan for it.
Yeah, a plan for it.
Yeah.
So, this is obviously for somebody, for something.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very intentional.
Something very
but it's code 30-5 if anybody would like to look it up.
And just like the way that they changed the agenda items, right? Because remember, I got up there and asked Shane Black, like, what is this for? And he was like, oh, it's nothing. But they changed the wording and everything, that they can basically just end a meeting if something gets out of hand or they don't like what you're saying. And that was specifically after something was mentioned about Holly. And Holly got up and like almost attacked you and like, let's take it outside. The very next meeting, it's like the mayor can't have any.
If they don't like what you're saying, they can just cut the meeting off anytime.
If the mayor,
which is
the mayor's
strange.
not letting you talk about his girlfriend.
I know, right? But strange because it's not being videoed anyway because they cut it off. Yeah, why do you care? Oh, that's right, because we're videoing it and we're still putting it out there.
So that was the end of the regular meeting. Like I said, Mark and Rick Johnson got up and talked about this particular item. So that was it. And then we go into the public comments. Talked about the need of the pool again. He had the statistics over like local swim competitions at the high school, like with Boaz and Opelika, and how like
lots of people could be the potential for...
Yeah, and he compared it, he used comparable cities that were the size of Athens.
Yes.
And then he did compare Huntsville, was even bigger, about how many teams, like they hosted 20 to like 50 teams or something. But even on the smaller scale, like Boaz has got a facility, Opelika's got a facility, and all the amount of families and stuff that it goes here for eating out, shopping, hotels, things like that. And then even talking about the use of the pool, that it's not just for competition swimming too, but it's for use for exercise purposes and things like that. And so I hope that we're able to find somewhere to build that. It's been insinuated that if we could find somewhere, hopefully we do. But I do think that would be a great addition to the city. And
then who was it? You said the guy on the planning commission got up again, and talked about trees being cut, and maybe
he said his address was down Lindsay Lane.
Yes,
and he was talking about
the basically scalping the trees where they wouldn't have to come back, and basically all they're concerned about is the top near the power lines, and if they could like not scalp the trees quite so much.
Because he said they've lost like several trees down there. Yeah. But, it was interesting that the city really didn't engage with them and make a promise of anything. They just, took his comment. They didn't even say, hey, yeah, we'll look into that. It was just, he made his comment.
Yep.
And, which I didn't think about the pool either. Maybe they're having these secret meetings beforehand, and they're like, hey, these people are saying on their podcast that we will engage with other people, and it sticks out like a sore thumb because we won't engage with them. So maybe they're just we won't engage with anyone. So
you think that makes you look any better?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Holly was over there talking with Justin. We know they're friends. I mean, again, I think that the pool is a great addition. I really do. I hope that we're able to get it with the money that we're spending on at Athens State and the money that we're giving to other places. I just don't know that financially we have. Hopefully we would. I mean, I think it would be a great investment. But yeah, I just found that kind of funny that they used to engage with everyone else but us, and then now it's kind of they're just going to follow their own rules and say we're not going to engage with anybody. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but before the meeting was starting, the mayor was like, hey y'all, and it was a blanket hey y'all, and I don't know if that was his way of speaking. I mean, he still didn't come and speak to us, and did several other people, but
we'll talk about you, and then we'll talk about the last guy.
Okay. So yeah, I got up and I just asked about the status of the employee at the rec center. Y'all remember our anonymous letter that we got?
Yep.
I just asked about the status of that because it was very contradictory. Ronnie Mark said that situation had been handled, and Shane Black was like, oh no, it's still under investigation, so it has
been elevated to the state.
Yeah. And then there's not been another word about it. There's been no statement that was released.
I mean, you have to release a statement about it.
The Decatur Daily, who's always there, they're even at the Lumsden County Commission meeting too, and they didn't even cover that.
No.
Oh my gosh, we have a former city employee.
Literally, if we hadn't received this anonymous letter, nobody would know anything about it. That's how covered up this was. And then, we call it out, and it's it's been taken care of. And then Shane Black almost has a stroke, and it's no, it hasn't.
Yeah.
Because you have to tell us something.
Yeah.
You have to tell us something anyway. And then, like I say, this is not going to go away. You're going to have to read you another little repaired statement and say, this is under investigation. Yeah. There's an accusation. There's been fraud, stealing at the rec center, and this under investigation. You have to say that.
Something.
You can't just not say anything.
And then it was very clear they were not going to engage with me, because even when I asked, I stood there and they're and then I even had to say, Shane Black, you have an answer? And he was like, nothing new at this time. I can't speak on anything new at this time. And then I asked about this, I forgot.
You forgot what you asked about?
Yeah.
What did you ask about?
I don't know.
Oh, you asked about the geo external, whatever that was.
Yeah, and I even was like, so can I was just
geotechnical exploration.
Yeah,
that's it.
And then there was 10 seconds of pause.
Yeah, you ask about it, and it's wait a minute, guys. You literally just voted on this, and you don't even know what it is?
Yeah.
Because that's crazy to me.
And what's funny is someone came up to me after the meeting and talked about how disgusted they were at how I was treated, how rude Mr. Lucas, because I even was like, excuse me, Mr. Lucas, Mayor Marks, Shane Black. And they're Mr. Lucas ducked his head down and was looking up at me and then Ronnie Marks was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Are you talking about an agenda item? You can get Blair Davis is back there. You can go ask him. And I'm like,
Blair Davis didn't just vote on this. Blair Davis brought it to you and said, this is what we're doing. And you voted on it, and you don't even know what it is.
Can we have this money approved? Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, if I was on the council, I would have at least looked it up and seen what it means.
Well, number one, I don't think that majority of them even know what it is or what it's for. Well, Dana Henry wasn't even back in there at this point. So Chris Seibert's probably the only one that even cares because Mr. Lucas is old. The other two, they've got one more meeting. They really don't.
They're
care.
out.
And I don't know that Chris Seibert would ever even acknowledge if I ever asked him something directly, and I wouldn't. I would do all my best to have to not communicate with him, but yeah, it was very weird. And then the mayor being
what just hit me, it's like you guys literally just voted on this and you can't tell me what you just voted on.
Yeah.
I mean, to use your favorite word, that's pretty pathetic, quite frankly.
Well, do you think that it's because they didn't know or because it was me?
I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Because we've seen in the past that this kind of like, they take it as like this is a part-time job and they don't do any research, homework, anything else like. And
it's almost like they don't understand the depths of this
and I just don't think that's good enough anymore. The people deserve. This city's growing so fast. It may be a part-time position, but you need somebody that's actually doing the homework before they get there. And what we're asking for is not really that much.
And if they are doing their homework, then just answer. Just be communicative. I mean, we're making an assumption by your reaction to being a question being asked. So whether you like me or not, whether you respect me or not, you're going to have to give the illusion that you at least respect me, at least to the public.
Exactly. I mean, even if I don't like you, I can say, here, give you an explanation of what it is, at least.
Well, I mean, that's really
that's all you're asking for.
I mean, and then the fact to be like, well, you can go ask Blair Davis. I don't know. One thing that that really irritates me with them is they get annoyed by people that if it's not a question that they like, they almost get annoyed. Like, well, there's this process. Okay, well, I'm doing it this way. Like, I'm not a city employee. Who cares?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Being chastised for
asking a question.
Yeah. So, anyways, that brings us to our last person that got up to speak. It was a guy. He was new to the council meetings. I hadn't seen him there before, but I did see Ronnie Marks come over and talk to him during the break in between the business meeting and the council meeting.
Yes, he said hey to him, and that was it. And then he got up there and said that he had sent an email to both the mayor and Chief Presnell about a matter that had happened back in March, and that it seems to be like an unjustified arrest, but he had done the diversion program, something like that. I think is what he mentioned, and he said I've done everything.
He said he'd been in law enforcement.
Been in law enforcement like 9 years, and he'd gone through the program that he was supposed to, and that he went to the to see about it, and it's just nothing has happened. And he's trying to move on with his life and basically get some kind of documentation that it's been solved and taken care of, and he can't get that. So he emailed both the mayor and Chief Presnell and said, hey, have you seen my email? And he said, no. Nope. Haven't seen it.
And then it was almost like, the way that I took it is that it's like made the mayor uncomfortable. So he's like, I didn't get an email. I haven't seen your email.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then he looks back there at Chief Presnell, which I didn't see Big A's reaction. He just said, well, he's shaking his head, so I guess he doesn't see it either, or he hasn't seen it either. And he was like, and this is a city council meeting. Thanks to the city council for like listening to this, but this isn't the place. Like, they don't make those decisions, so you can just like make an appointment and talk with us. And he was like, I sent you an email.
Yeah. And, I guess this would be like, Mayor, he said he sent you an email over a week ago. Yeah. I mean, was this while you were, filming on the square? Was this while you were busy eating with Minute with the Mayor? Or is this while you were still diddling your employee? I mean, I'm just saying, not a lot of email answering going on, but a lot of other stuff going on.
And, Big A, I really like Big A.
So we saw the guy. They said talk to him, set up a meeting.
They said
and then Big A was talking to him as we were leaving. So I mean,
we're hopeful.
Yeah, we're hopeful that
that
some kind of
resolution.
Yeah, and that's all he wanted.
Yeah,
and it's like you don't know. You show up. It's like you expect to ask questions, and then you could easily say, "Okay, sir, I answered the email. I didn't. I haven't seen it. Something make somebody feel good.
Something.
But I didn't feel good about his answer.
Because if somebody had told me that I sent an email, which
it's pretty normal and standard.
Well, it's intimidating. Like if you're first time ever emailing somebody that's in charge, even coming to city council. I mean, just like it goes back to that guy that code up for the neighborhood.
Yes.
He had on a black suit and tie and was prepared. And the mayor literally was like, I mean, it's zoned for industrial, so would you rather have a plant or a neighborhood? And so it's like these people are it's already intimidating. It's already nerve-wracking enough to have to get up and ask these questions. And then to, be talked to that way. Just the appearance of it just looks like you just don't care about your people. I mean, he was very humbling, even getting up there, like having to publicly talk about some sort of altercation or issue that happened.
Exactly.
And then all the mayor's like, well, I didn't see your email. And the fact that he took the time to send that. And then, anyways, it was just... So, anyways, at the end, we did see him over there talking to Big A. And hopefully they're able... And he was writing some stuff down. So
hopefully we give an update.
Yeah.
That's something, Mm-hmm. And that's all people want. Is just you bring a problem, solve a problem.
That's what we're here to do.
Or at least make people feel warm and fuzzy about it, even if you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, right.
You have been heard.
Yep.
And then I think our little extra, I think we need to talk about our after meeting with Mr. Wilson in the parking lot.
Right. So it's no secret that we are personal friends with Mark. He reached out to us over a year ago, and Jared and him talk several times a week. Some days more than others, some weeks more than others. But had it not been for this, our paths would have never crossed. And when you hear about everything that Mark has been through in the last 2 decades, some may say that he's crazy, or some may call his property junky or whatever. Let's remind everybody, his corner lot is zoned for a business to go there. Trust me, if it was zoned for residential and there was a way for them to take his property, they would have already done that. So even like with Kelly, like she's got chickens out at her house. She's allowed to have chickens because she's considered a homestead because she has over 10 acres. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of funny when people are like, oh, like his property can't look like that or whatever like that. That's his livelihood, right? In Chris Seibert's words, that's how he supports his family. That's his livelihood. But just to see the fight that Mark has had for the last 2 decades. But yeah, he came over and was talking to us.
And then he had said that he had talked to, was it Mr. Wells?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Mr. Wells said that agenda item I was basically directed.
Specifically for him.
Exactly.
He said, Mark, that is for you.
Which means they've made a law to be able to more easily go after Mr. Wilson about how his property looks. But, by God, we got to drive by 75 Chris Seibert and other, dilapidated properties to get to Mark Wilson's house.
Yep.
And that's what's so hypocritical about this.
But the fact that, Mr. Wells admitted that to him.
Yeah.
That's sickening.
Yeah, it really is.
That's just, to me, grounds for, for Mark to be able to go after the city. I mean, you've got a councilman who openly admitted that this law was for him. I don't care if he's only got one more or not. I mean, it's kind of like he will always be Councilman Harold Wells. Like that's what even if he's retired, former, whatever, that he can admit that and tell him that.
Well, he said, I'm on the way out. And then Wayne Harper said, I'm on the way out too. Mm-hmm. But it's like, really, guys? It's like if you care about the city, you're never really out. You're still a citizen. Even if you're not on the council, you still live in the city and you still should be concerned about it.
And funny thing is, Harold Wells also told Mark Wilson that Amy Golden's not going to do anything for District 5 when she takes over in a couple weeks. So it was just very, very interesting to hear that Mr. Wells got so vocal about telling Mark information. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because we all know Mark is going to stay on that representation for District 5, especially if they do try to use that law to come after him, because that's going to be her district, right? So is she going to be over sending him these things? Like,
who knows?
I mean, it says it's with Big A, so is Big A going to be the one that are filing these things against him? it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So, yeah. So, short meeting. Talked longer than I expected to, but
we always do now, apparently.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, still got some fun, exciting things coming up. So till next time, guys, thanks for listening.
And that's a wrap for this episode of the Limestone Lowdown, where we break down the issues, keep you informed, and give you facts straight from the source. Remember, your voice matters. Your vote counts, and your community thrives when we stay engaged. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay involved. Until next time, keep questioning, keep advocating, and keep shaping the future of the Limestone area. We'll see you on the next Limestone Lowdown.